celebrated their 15th anniversary in a big, albeit understated way by releasing the Meizu 15. No, Meizu didn't start making mobile phones 15 years ago, but rather MP3 players. This didn't stop Meizu from breaking out the Meizu 15 series moniker, which includes 3 variants. The Meizu M15, which is the more entry-level version that costs around $250 US. This phone, the Meizu 15, a clearly mid-grade device with high-end looks that can be found for around $400 US. And then the larger Meizu 15 Plus, a larger edition with hardware to match that costs right around $450 US. So is the special designation worth it? Well, I'm Adam, tech editor with Gizmo China, and let's find out in my review of the Meizu 15. The phone comes in a groovy matte black square box with shiny UV coating on the number 15. It's a fairly understated but elegant way of packaging. Inside, it's the standard stuff really, with an M-Charge fast charger, a USB-C charging cable, some paperwork, and the phone. No need for a dongle here, as the Meizu 15 keeps its 3.5mm audio jack. Nice. A few unique pieces of design included on this device jumped out to me as I opened the box. First, the tiny fingerprint reader on the front chin area. It looks cute, almost out of place, and I wondered kind of how well it would work. Gladly it worked so fine that I basically bypassed the face unlock feature most of the time, even with the raise to wake feature turn on, which I like. More on that later. However, I did miss if my finger was slightly turned quite a few times, and that was a bit of an annoyance. Second was the all-metal back with its groovy texture. Now, it's likely the biggest fingerprint magnet piece of tech I've handled in a long time. It took me a while, and some super soft cloth, to get clean imagery of the back of this thing. Sad thing is, you'd want to put a case on this phone and cover up that fine-looking back, just to kind of clean up the look. And third, the tiny little side bezels. I'm not even sure I've seen tinier side bezels, to be honest. These things are tiny, tiny. It's a good thing too, as it allows for a more standard 16:9 display, and combined with a far larger top bezel, makes it a notchless display as well. The Meizu 15 seems to be fighting against a lot of the 2018 smartphone trends, which is great. I wish more companies did the same. The 15 at 143mm tall, 72mm wide, and a slight 7.3mm thick feels quite comfortable to hold, and is one of the better one-handed used phones I've had in a while. The display isn't going to disappoint anyone in this price range either, with its 5.5-inch Super AMOLED screen that measures 1080 by 1920 for a clean pixel density of 403 ppi. As far as button layout and ports, there's less innovation, but that's not too bad either. The 3.5mm audio jack is still there on the bottom, you gotta like that. The left side of the phone has volume rockers, which feels solid and quite well built, while the power button is just below the hybrid SIM SD card tray on the right side. The Meizu 15 allows for up to 256GB of SD expansion in its second SIM card slot. However, as usual, when using the expandable memory option, you're only gonna have one SIM card in use. On the bottom of the device is the aforementioned 3.5mm audio jack, the USB-C charging port, and the main speaker. Meizu snuck in one of my favorite modern trends though, with the earphone speaker doubling down as a stereo speaker in the loudspeaker mode. Check out the sound quality here. Not bad at all. I feel the sound is more full than other mid-range devices, and it shows well here. Hey gadget fans, if you're enjoying this review, make sure to press the like button. We'd love to hear your thoughts on if you prefer this phone compared with other mid-range devices as well. Please leave your comments below and subscribe to the Gizmo China channel for more smartphone and tech goodness. Unfortunately, This phone joins most mid-grade Android phones in the past and comes with Android 7.1 Nougat with Meizu's Flyme UI 7.0 skin on top. The UI is fairly simple to use and the personalization features are on the lighter side and lends to the phone feeling less unique from a user experience standpoint. The Meizu 15 can be used with either the standard Android navigation bar or with fingerprint button M-Touch gesture combo. I prefer the latter as it becomes user-friendly and intuitive quite quickly. Meizu stuffed the fine but decidedly mid-grade Snapdragon 660 chipset into the device, along with a Kiro octa-core CPU setup which includes 2 quad cores at differing clock speeds and the capable Adreno 512 GPU. This overall setup pushed quite well and it shows on the test scores, general use, and gaming. In fact, gaming was mostly quite good on the device and I felt better than the scores would have suggested. This particular M15 variant comes with 4 GB of RAM and either 64 or 128 GB of internal storage with, again, the option for a micro SD expansion of up to 256 GB on top. There's plenty of storage here, and it'd be very difficult to fill all that up with videos, music, and photos. The 3000 mAh lithium-ion battery for heavy use for a full day and a half in my testing. With the 15, Meizu worked quite hard to get better low-light performance out of a mid-range device. They accomplished their goal with the main 12-megapixel camera on the rear by utilizing a larger 1 and 2.3 inch sensor that includes larger 1.55 micron pixels. It works well. I'd not place it in the top tier smartphones, but it certainly reigns near the top at its price point. The secondary telephoto camera is a more standard design and best used only in good lighting. Autofocus is excellent with the dual pixel and also laser autofocusing capabilities that lend to quick and steady shooting. The device has a unique 6 LED circular dual tone ring flash, but in the video we're looking at now, the flashlight function must only use 3 of them. The camera modes are fairly standard with portrait mode, standard photo mode, video, and then in the more mode there's a pro option, a panorama, QR code scanner, time-lapse, slow-mo, and square modes. Of these, I generally suggest use of the photo, the pro, the panorama modes, basically for the best results. The other options aren't ideal on this device. Additionally, HDR filters and a beauty option are available separately in most of the previously mentioned modes. In use, I found the images to be a bit of a mixed bag. Some shots slightly blown out in the highlights and others spot on. Here, you can see the difference when using the standard camera and the telephoto option. I feel the telephoto shot is quite clean here as the light is excellent and it'd be very usable for many uses. When it comes to videos, I find the footage okay with decent stabilization at 1080p, but none at 4K, which is a standard thing for most phones these days. I found the videos look good enough for general social media use, so most people should be fine with the results. In the end, the Meizu 15 is a very fine looking device. I really like the tiny side bezels and circular dual tone flash, as well as the speaker setup. With a different coating on the back, I feel this device would be a stunner all the way around. But for now, the back gets a little too funky when handled. I'm quite interested in checking out the final version of this device, as well as the Meizu 15 Plus, as I feel the upgrades there might be worth checking out.